Thank you for grabbing your audiobook copy of An End to Ice and Sorrow, the fourth book in the Hellbound series of religious fantasy thrillers written by William L.J. Galaini, narrated by Wendy Wolfson. Copyright 2024 by Evolved Publishing LLC. Dedication. For those who bend our darker natures toward better purposes. Chapter 1. A fissure jolted through Gil's icy tomb. The sudden stimuli, after so many decades of frozen misery, startled him. He'd existed without change for so long, except for the relatively recent kiss from his father, that he'd nearly forgotten he was more than a head peeking out of the black ice. Was it because of my father's kiss? Had the kiss been years ago? A decade ago? Yesterday? Gil couldn't calculate. It felt like an eon ago, but he still vividly remembered the loving warmth of his father's bristly beard on his forehead. How little his father Yitz had aged. When Gil saw his father down here, bent over him while fighting to hold in sobs, he couldn't believe it as real. Gil's memory had solidified, as if to conjure Yitzhak Isserles exactly as he'd been the last day he had lived. At first, Gil thought it some terrible new torture, or even a hallucinatory reprieve from the numb sameness of his frozen hell. After Gil's violent death on Earth, he'd emerged through a bubbling sulphuric vent leagues below the surface of the turbulent Sea of the Damned. As he drifted up, blinded by other flailing bodies, luminescent tentacles snaked through the groups of recently condemned. The lamprey-like mouths of the glowing, translucent appendages snatched up the poor souls who flailed most. Gil remained still, knowing exactly where he was. This was Gehenna, the hell into which sinners are cast after judgment for eternal suffering, and it marked the start of his punishment, not only for what he'd done, but for what he felt. After floating upward through the crushing depths, he had surfaced. Surrounded by his fellow sinners, the waters reeked with panicked urine, blood, and aimless pleas as they clawed and gnashed and tore at each other.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?